Welcome to Who's In, where we predict the starting 11 for the World Cup's biggest nations. In this series, we'll be looking at France, Germany, England, Argentina, Portugal and Brazil. But today, we have the 2010 World Cup winners, Spain. Stay tuned for some surprises in our lineup. Let's find out who's in. Our formation for Spain is 4-2-3-1 with some surprises. Make sure you remember that our Spanish journalists picked this team, so don't blame me if your favourite player didn't make it. With that said, let's begin. Goalkeeper. Spain have options in Kepa Arrizabalaga. Kepa was wanted by Real Madrid, but he recently signed for Atletico Bilbao. However, our pick is of course playing in the Premiership. Manchester United's De Gea is not just the best goalkeeper Spain has, but arguably one of the best goalkeepers in the world. And the World Cup is the perfect place for him to prove himself and state his claim for that #1 spot. At right back, Real Sociedad's Alvaro Odriozola could be a player for the future. He's been watched by Manchester United this season, and in the season where United are way behind City, Odriozola could be the top of a long list of players coming to Old Trafford, especially after he scored against United back in the UEFA Youth League game. However, our pick is Dani Carvajal. The Real Madrid man is Spain's best option. He's a key player for Madrid with his strength and vision, and he will be the same for Spain. At centre back, we all know who Spain will pick, and we know who they should pick. The Barcelona and Real Madrid pairing is a combination of two of the best teams in the world. Sergio Ramos is certainly a natural leader, defensive master and a win-at-all-cost type player. He can defend and also adds bite and grit to Spain's attack from corners. If he was injured, they could replace him with Real player Nacho Fernandez, who would be a worthy replacement as well. But Ramos is our man and Spain's captain. To partner Ramos, it could be Real Betis defender Marco Bartra. He left Barcelona, and in his own words, he left to grow as a player. However, it's of course a Barcelona man that's keeping him on the bench. Gerard Piqué makes the perfect pairing with Ramos. They have different personalities and different ways to influence the game, but together they form one of the best partnerships in defence at the World Cup. Finally, the left back position probably has the most competition, even if it's just Chelsea versus Barcelona. Chelsea's Azpilicueta and Marcos Alonso can change games with flashes of defensive brilliance with their ability to turn defence swiftly into attack. However, Chelsea have had a troubled season, but with that said, even if they had a good season, Barcelona's Jordi Alba would be our first choice. With Barcelona's unbeaten run still intact by making this video, and yes, of course, they got slapped by Roma, but he's still been strong, quick, and looked amazing during the season with Barca, so he's definitely going to be our pick for Spain. So that's our defence. On to Spain's midfield. Spain looked very good in the friendlies, or did Argentina just look very shaky without Messi? Even with that question unanswered, Spain have a wealth of attacking options. However, all good teams need balance in attack and defence. This is why this position is so important. Spain have options in Bayern Munich's Thiago Alcantara, another former Barcelona player. He's playing so well for Munich that Barcelona inquired about buying him back. When he was at Barca, he was seen as a natural successor for Xavi, but a lack of playing time and Guardiola's departure meant he looked to prove himself elsewhere. Yet, once again, we're going back to Barcelona for our actual pick. Actually, both of our picks. First, Sergio Busquets. Former Spain manager Del Bosque praised Busquets by saying, "If you watch the whole game, you won't see Busquets, but watch Busquets and you'll see the whole game." This pretty much sums up just how important he is a player for Spain and Barcelona. He'll be partnered by a player who most likely be competing in their last World Cup. Andres Iniesta is an incredible player, but Father Time remains undefeated, so he might not make it all the way through every World Cup game, and Spain will have options in Jorge Recension or even Alcantara, but those two are still our picks. In front of those two, we'll have David Silva. He's been superb for Manchester City in the Premiership, and like Busquets and Iniesta, he'll look to prove himself after the disappointing Champions League loss. At the centre of this three-man midfield, we've seen brilliant displays from Isco when Spain destroyed Argentina in the pre-World Cup friendlies. However, our journalist has controversially decided that Isco would be a great super sub, and he's decided to go with maybe Arsenal's next big signing from La Liga. Saul Niguez is a real soldier for Atletico Madrid. He's strong, he's a natural leader and a potentially great player for club and country. We see him as the next big Spanish super midfielder, with Isco acting as a great replacement when needed. Our next pick is Marco Asensio. He's one of the brightest young talents that Spain have. He may not be a starter for Real Madrid, but when he's given a chance, he certainly plays very well. However, there's talk of him wanting to leave Madrid to find more playing time. At just 22 years old, it's hard for him to replace Madrid's other experience and established attacking options. However, if he does leave Madrid, he'll always have the accolade of scoring Real Madrid's 6,000th Spanish top-flight goal. If a replacement is needed, well, fellow Madrid star Lucas Vázquez players can do a good job. Before we get to our last player, remember to download the Onefootball app from the link in our bio and comment section, and press like and make sure you subscribe. Morata's time at Chelsea hasn't exactly set the Premiership on fire. There's already talk of him going back to Juventus. Thus we think another player has finally earned their chance. Valencia's Rodrigo Moreno is having a great season and he's worked hard to get into the Spain team. He scored on average a goal every other game for Valencia, and he's certainly one for the future, and he is our man. So that's our lineup, but we want to know yours. Comment your lineup for Spain and we'll see who's correct come World Cup time. I've been Anto Allen, thanks for watching. Make sure you check out the rest of our Who's In videos to see the rest of the World Cup teams. Peace.